24 seconds. It's 1:30 something for a lap. This will be the last lap of the race. And again, Michael Gans in second place is so close he can almost taste the cigar.
But Ewan Surgeson, quite rightly, knew they were coming, kept well out of the way. Great job by him.
Gillies checking over both shoulders. The mirrors are showing him nothing other than vibration. He wants to know where Michael Gans is. Where's he coming from? Is he coming this lap? Is he coming this corner? Where's Gans going to find the advantage?
Gans was quick round Lavant. Last time round, he made up 2 or 3 car lengths. Now
and the Alfetta is right in the middle of St Mary's, and Gillies is going to catch him. He's going to be badly held up, and if the Alfetta couldn't be in a worse place for Mark Gillies. Gillies slow through the middle of the turn, but he squeezes through now. So Michael Gans has a third of a lap left to try and take victory here. He's got a great run on the inside. Gillies sees him coming. Michael Gans leaps through in the gap at Lavant, and the Alfetta, so unfortunate for Mark Gillies, may have just changed the course of the race. It might have been going to Michael Gans, but it's going to be close.
Watch out of Woodcut.
Gillies comes firing back down the Lavant straight. Fantastic response for Mark Gillies. Great historic racing from these two. Perfectly matched driver and car combinations. It's going to be an ERA 1-2, and Mark Gillies out of the chicane. He led almost every metre from lap 2 onwards, and he will take the checkered flag by inches from Michael Gans. What a fantastic barnstorming race. And they
5 from 75. Davey Todd coming under pressure now from Josh Brooks. There's Josh Brooks with the silver helmet with his head down. Josh Brooks then, the reigning BSB champion, looking absolutely brilliant here on a bike that he certainly will not be familiar with. John Lee Pemberton will take that bike over from Josh Brooks when he comes in. Who is that? That's the Gold Star of Levi Day. So the BSA is out for number 57 bike. What a shame for him. The pit window is now open, and rider changes have about 8 minutes to take place. This is where the strategy comes into play. Is Michael Dunlop going to hand over quickly to Steve Plater, or is he going to stay out until the very last minute?
Red car as well is another real mini exponent, Ian Curley. If you're not a mini racing fan, and Solis goes off onto the grass and loses the place back, and there's a spinner in the middle. And Owens, keep your foot in, keep your foot in, keep your foot in. That is the only rule of mini racing. Keep the throttle applied and let the car pull itself out of trouble, and he just survives that one. That's because my car just basically lived in a garage and never got any attention. There's Bill Solis, grass tracking, the grey car with a little, and then right in front, a big moment there for Endaf Owens.
Just a little bit of a push from Jeff Smith there.
Let's pick up the number of the first car. This is a Cobra, number 177 coming through and pedalling very hard indeed. Look where you're going, don't look over the shoulder.
He's checking how far he's got if he needs to use all of his effort.
Goodness me, 177's not even in the programme. 62 coming hard, number 62, that's George Moore and the Nick Moore car. Can George Moore do it at the line? The number 62 car, come on George. The gold car coming out for second place. In third place, it's the number 13 car of Alex Kinsman's car. George Moore in the gold car is doing it. Absolutely brilliant stuff. George Moore takes it over the line for victory.
He's thinking, now I understand why people come and play in this game.
Great morning in the Drivers' Club. What can you be suggesting? The Perspex window a little loose on that pale green car number 47. That's the Bill Shepherd prepared and Bill Shepherd Roman Dumas driven car. That car was second fastest yesterday. Car number 1 was fastest of all, 125.606. There's only 0.2 of a second between the top 2 cars. And Dumas, of course, has already had a mini race today. He's had a bit more time at the track, dialing himself in a little bit more. But then I don't think that's untrue about Ollie Bryant and Darren Turner either. So I think there could be a lot more speed to come from these cars. And I think Billy was probably right. I think yesterday, just making sure that all the bits worked properly. Today, is maybe the day to try and get the monster lap out of it.
Okay, put this figure into your mind. 1 minute 25.6 seconds. That was the best yesterday. That was yesterday's gold standard. Ollie Bryant set that pace. Darren Turner sharing the car. But what we saw yesterday was the AC Cobras were very quick to put in quick times. They've got all the grunt, but getting the setup right for the chasing Jaguar E-Types was a little bit harder, took a little longer. Track conditions, this morning it was grey, Martin, but now, as of mid-morning, it got to bright blue skies, sunshine. There's much more heat in the circuit, but don't forget, there is also oil on the circuit. We just saw Joe Colasacco sliding off at the chicane at the end of the previous race, the Glover Trophy. And just there, looking at Romain Dumas twisting and twirling the wheel. Car number 47, the AC. Here's a number sequence for you, 1.5, 0.9. That's the gap between first and second. Yep. And this time around, how far back is Colasacco? 1.1. So the traffic again has worked well for Andy Middlehurst. Yep. He knows this Lotus 25, number 25, so super well. He can put it where he wants to, but he's got 3 cars up ahead of him. It looks like Sid Hill will be the next car he comes to pass. Sid's got lots of experience, but don't forget, a short while ago we saw Sid nearly putting it into the wall at the chicane. So hopefully he's got his focus right back and won't interrupt or increase, augment, destroy the first 2 places.
Yeah, Andy Middlehurst still the race leader, and as you say, traffic has seen the gap go up, but the last time round, Joe Colasacco set yet another new fastest race lap, 1:23.290 on the last lap. So this current lap, he is not quite as quick. Again, the traffic is having its effect. They go by Sid Hull, at least the leader has. Now Colasacco trying to thread his way through. There's the Brabham BT7.
Andy Middlehurst, if he can get past the BT7, that's car number 6 with James King on board. The job will be done in terms of picking off a trio of cards. So difficult. Hard enough if you've got a lot of space to play with, but going down the Lavant Straight that is really called the Lavant isn't very straight. It's very difficult indeed, but worked beautifully by both of the drivers, and I don't really think that too much was lost, but there's still a Brabham between them. It was 1.1 seconds. In fact, let's eat my hat, because I think Andy Middlehurst has worked that a little bit better, maybe closer to 2 seconds on the finish line. 1.5.
The Union flag drops and away they go. Immediate good traction from the light. Austin A40 and the Alpha gets away from the line. The flame-spitting Alfa Romeo, the red car of Emanuele Pirri, looking to go a long way around the outside, and the outside of the Thunderbird is a very long way away. 10 seconds after everybody else, our final 2 cars, Alex Brundle and Patrick Watson, will be flagged away, but the thundering Thunderbird takes the lead. Emanuele Pirri moving into 3rd. There's Andrew Jordan on his right. You can't see him, but there he is, 77. And there is the number 9 Mark 1 Jag of Matt Neal, trying to go the long way around the outside of his former British Touring Car Championship rival.
Here is the opportunity for the driver who started second, got second into the first corner. It's Andre Lotter of the Austin A90 all over the tail of the big rig, the Ford Thunderbird, that didn't get away well until the power kicked in, and Romain Dumas just keeps it in front. But I think now lap 1 is the time to strike Andre Lotter. Try the inside down at Lavant, doesn't quite make it, but Pirro right on the tail of Little Red Alpha.
So hang on, Dumas leads, Lotter leads Pirro. It's not Le Mans in the early 2000s. Here we go, Andre Lotter takes your advice. He's on the inside of Romain Dumas, and the problem is, as soon as the Thunderbird gets on the gas, it just picks up its skirts and hustle. But Lotter has to stay there. He's looking nervously in the mirror. Where is Pirro? Pirro is right there in the Giulietta TI. Lotter could still take this, because right now, about 2/3 of the way down the Lavant Straight, that is where the Thunderbird starts to need to think about slowing down.
Just looking to see Andrew Jordan, he started 3rd, he's down to 4th, the other A40s getting in on the mix.
Marcel Fassler and Rob Huff, door handle to door handle. Rob Huff in the number 6 car, squeezing through. In fact, there are 3 of them there. Jackson in the light blue car, green, Mini Minor, Morris Minor. That is Richard Atwood in the middle of the field. Rino Fanchitti in the A35, just outside the top 10, 4.5 seconds. Romain Dumas has spent 20 minutes nursing the Thunderbird, and now he is taking the whip to it. We're getting into the final furlong, and Romain Dumas, monster moment from Andy Jordan. Just asked too much of the car to get around the big Jag, couldn't make it through.
Tony Jardine almost trying to re-overtake him. They're coming almost to a standstill, but that was a great bit of control. Once Andrew Jordan just realised, let's take a look at the replay. Into the first part of St Mary's, he goes up the inside of one of, that's Tiffany Down in one of the two Jaguar Mark 7s, but the inside line was just too tight to get around the corner, and when the tail's on the grass, foot still planted, plant still planted, frankly, in the field, but he wrestled that very well indeed. He could have gone a whole lot further, but that is the chase for the lead, over and out, quite surely.
Yeah, 4.5 seconds behind at the beginning of this lap, and that will have cost him another second or two. And so Romain Dumas, as he comes towards the line, look at the rear shot when you get the throttle picked up on the Lotus 30 car number 69. There's just this brown haze of unburnt hydrocarbon being expelled from those cannon exhausts, and now we are within touching distance. 2 minutes and 40 seconds as they get to the line. Ollie Bryant leads Phil Keen by inches. 0.4 of a second. What a chase, what a battle. 2.5 minutes. It's a 2-lap race. Ollie Bryant leads by feet over Phil Keen. Phil Keen with another new fastest lap, 1:21.5. The fastest Bryant has done is a 1:22. Ollie Bryant's last lap was a 1:24.2. Phil Keen found 2.5 seconds on that lap.
He's faster than his pole time by 0.3 of a second. This is after 20+ minutes of racing. Taking a look, there's a car right in front of them. It's the GT40 of Michael Birch, keeping out of the way. They cannot overtake into St Mary's. They cannot overtake into the Lavender corner. But you can pretend, if your name's Phil Keen, you can overtake on the exit. He's trying to do it. He's got the job done.
And again, look at the grunt. Phil Keen positions himself perfectly. Ollie Bryant has no answer there. Phil Keen takes the lead inside the final 2 minutes of the 25-minute Whitsun Trophy. What a thundering race this has been in every way, shape or form. Tony Sinclair in
He's half a minute back in third place, but Whittaker surely can't catch him. He's quicker.
No.
In fact, Whittaker was a lot slower last time around. Maybe it's a problem for the 46.
Look, there's the leader in James Cottingham. There's second place Roger Wills. There's Sam Hancock. He's all over him. They've caught traffic. There is a lot of traffic in front. Here's the opportunity for Hancock. Can he find the gap? Does Wills get held up? And again, with a 2-0, and off in the background goes one of the back markers, and Nick Patton and Phil Kaduri. Phil Kaduri avoids the barriers. He should be able to rejoin. Was that not him in fourth?
No, I don't think it's Phil Kaduri. I think it's a Lister further back down the field. So into second place. It's around the outside, but hanging on the inside, Roger Wills, the little white Lotus. Can he keep it in front? There's more grunt from the Ferrari. This is side by side. You expect the Ferrari surely to get ahead on the run down to Woodcote, but of course Roger Wills and the little Lotus could break later and later into the corner. But how late is late, and how late is too late?
Yeah, that's the big question, not how late is late. It's what can you do? Donato Hartog's in the Lotus 15, car number 20 right in front. So another Lotus 15 in front of Roger Wills. The Kiwi in the white Lotus goes deep on the inside. Sam Hancock has to keep his powder dry. Wills doesn't get through either. Hancock's now got a chance. He might not have had the greatest exit, but he's got a little bit more in terms of top-end speed.
Roger Wills just shaking his head from side to side. Oh, how frustrating. And just to point out that James Wood did gain the place. He's gone past Ollie Bryant, but the Ferrari now goes through into second place.
I was going to say, Hancock also has to clear that green Lotus 15 into Madrick, and it was by no means guaranteed that they would, but he showed his intentions early. The back marker trying desperately to stay out of the way while also having his own race, because he's only 2 seconds behind the car in front of him, and he's desperate to catch John Young in the D-type, and that's where Sam Hancock is right now.